even if you end up writing something, you will end up scoring at least 20-30%, even if you're not completely sure of the answer.
Yes.
It's kind of a best of both worlds that way.
So good afternoon. My name is Virupak Vikram Singh, and this is my friend Shubham Jain.
Hello.
And today we are here to discuss the law optional paper for the Civil Services Mains Examination and a course that we are designing for it. So Shubham, tell me firstly, why should anybody take law optional as an optional for the mains examination?
I think the results speak for themselves. Law has the highest clearance rate amongst all optional syllabus and subjects that exist. In fact, 1 out of every 6 aspirants who write the mains end up in the final list. So, and I think that's also pretty obvious because if you're able to write the basic cases, the basic sections, just the general law regarding any question, it's nearly impossible that you will score less than 250 in the papers. Besides that, I think law is also useful across the entire civil services journey, from polity in prelims to GS2 in mains, and in the interview as well. I think between us, we have given more than 5 interviews now, right?
Yeah.
And I don't recall any one of them where less than half of the interview was outside of law. So I think in those senses it's very important. And even after you clear, for a civil servant, law is the most important subject. Be it Labasna, NPA, or even in the IRS, law is the most important subject that everyone is taught. So I think it's a very useful subject and a very important subject for all aspirants. Do you have anything to add?
I think that I have something to add with reference to the paper itself,
Yeah.
the law optional paper. I think that the syllabus that we've been provided for the law optional, it is very well defined. There are segregated topics that are provided in the syllabus itself. And the PYQ repetition percentage, I think, is extremely high, maybe the highest in all optionals.
Yeah.
So 60 to 70% of all the papers that we've written in the past 2-3 years, you more than mine, I think they have had a majority of PYQs. And secondly, I think that the answer writing also in law, it has some certainty. It is something like maths, in my opinion. Because if you write the correct sections, the correct case laws, then of course you will get 50% marks
And
just
not
based on that.
completely like maths, I believe, because even if you end up writing something, you will end up scoring at least 20-30%, even if you're not completely sure of the answer.
Yes.
It's kind of a best of both worlds that way.
I think that is true, but I think that everything is not hunky-dory also. There are certain challenges also with law optional. So
Yeah.
would you like to tell us something about that?
Yeah, I think law has a very vast syllabus. In fact, to cover all of these subjects from constitutional law, international law, everything, it takes up a lot of time. It takes up a lot of in-depth research, and the sources are also very disaggregated. There is no one compiled place where everything is available. I think in my 3 attempts, I have studied more than 2,000 to 3,000 pages just to cover the entire syllabus for law. What do you think?
So I think what you've said is true. There are certain challenges. The biggest one in my mind is that the syllabus is extremely vast.
Yeah.
And I think we have to read more than 2 to 3,000 pages. And that too from different books, not from a single book. It
Yeah.
involves commentaries, it involves dukkis, it involves reference books like the Oxford Handbook of the Indian Constitution, and also internet resources like the website
Mhm.
of the ICJ, the ICC. And I think that this vastness combined with the fact that the sources are disaggregated, it makes it a little difficult to prepare for this optional. What do you think?
Yes, and I think for a syllabus that is too oriented towards previous year questions, there is no comprehensive PYQ analysis available in the market. And besides that, I think the guidance for law optional is also very low. That even in a city like Delhi, if guidance is inadequate, I can't imagine what the scenario will be like in remote locations for aspirants in far off
Exactly.
cities, right? So
So now that we've designed a course in order to remedy these challenges, if we may say so, can you tell us something about how the course is designed? What are the course objectives?
yeah, so we designed this course with the aim to have a comprehensive coverage of the entire syllabus. Otherwise, the sources are very disaggregated, as you say. In this course, we try to compile all of them to make a one-stop solution of sorts. That all the sources, everything is compiled in one place. Besides that, we have tried to lay down an emphasis on the omnibus cases, the more landmark cases which are applicable across domains. so that the same case can be applied in multiple answers in some way to bring out maximum output out of minimum input. And
Basically, trying to remember 200 cases, wherein others may want to remember 500 cases. That
Exactly.
greatly enhances the efficiency of your
I
preparation.
think it's a myth that you need to remember 1,000 cases. You can if you want to. That's not a prohibition. But without remembering the more landmark cases, I think
You can
the
still
rest of-
score well.
Exactly. So, and thirdly, I think the most important bit is the focus on mentorship. That we will be there to provide for monthly mentorship and periodic guidance, as well as handholding the aspirants, whoever opt for this course, to across the entire journey and any doubts that they have. I think this makes the course very helpful. But tell me something more about the content design, the actual content of the course.
So, as you well know, we've divided the course into 7 modules. So, as to provide a very streamlined way of teaching, wherein there is one module of constitutional law, one of administrative law, and between us, we've divided it in a manner so that what you know better, you teach, what I know better, I teach. Basically, where you've scored better, you've taught, where I've scored better, I've taught.
Yeah.
Apart from that, we've also tried to, as I said, we've read the various sources, 2 to 3,000 pages, but we've tried to streamline that and simplify that in a 100-hour course and provide all the relevant or the best content that we found in all these sources at basically a one-stop solution for all of that. Now, having discussed the content, can you tell us something about the methodology that we followed while teaching this particular course series?
Yeah, I think the best part is that it's a previous year question oriented course where there's a more special emphasis on topics which are repeated more often. And therefore, we try to target the bullseye more accurately. And besides that, for such a vast syllabus, we try to cover it within 100 hours with lectures averaging around 2 hours so that it's easy to revise and to revisit as per need. Anything else that comes to your mind?
And I think that, Shubham, there are 2 more aspects in methodology. I think that firstly, the PPTs that we've designed, they are littered with keywords. And as we often say, what is law? Law is logic meeting language. So logic is our explanations that we give in the videos, while language are the keywords that we've littered. And I think the PPTs have been designed in such a manner that their PDFs can be used as revision notes that we use before revising 1 to 2 hours before the examination. Apart from that, I think that the emphasis on answer writing as well, wherein you well know that writing an answer in constitutional law is very different from writing an answer for criminal law. There needs to be a much more emphasis on analytical aspects in the constitutional law answers, while the answers or criminal law or any private law for that matter need to be pinpointed with the relevant sections and cases. And I think we've tried to incorporate that even in our teaching methodology.
I think between us, we have written 5 mains and never failed any of them. In fact, in the previous attempt, we both featured in the top 10 of last year's course.
I think you in the top 5.
Yeah. So I think we've condensed our accumulated wisdom of the past 3 years into this course, and I'm sure that whoever takes this course will end up benefiting from it.
I'm also sure of that. Thank you.
Thank you.